Hey everybody, it's Saturday morning, and I'm just waiting for my grandkids to come. Harriet and I have done all the housework, we've done everything that we need to do. I was thinking how much of life happens by accident. What happens in our lives happens by accident or happens by coincidence. And it's like, meeting Alf, that was pure coincidence that I met him at work, and I sort of fell in love with his family also to an extent, and how much we gleaned along the way, the wisdom. I think Alf always had that wisdom, innate wisdom. I didn't. I can only now, in looking back, pinpoint things that in my life that went wrong and why they went wrong, and things that went right and why they went right. And it's not so much what you make of life, it's what you make of what life gives you, affords you, offers you. It's making the most of opportunities. It's attempting to make opportunities for yourself. I certainly did that. I did that by educating myself when the children were young, by getting a job, by being rapidly promoted, by leaving said jobs when they were reorganising, and doing some temporary work, by being offered a good position at IBM, by having, which I turned down, by having a position at ICL where I was told to write my own job description, which I didn't stay, because basically I inquired about a job in Saudi Arabia, never thinking anything of it, not really, and then being asked to go to London for an interview. And there was two of us there, myself and this other girl, and I remember that she had had her purse stolen, or she'd lost it, and she was wondering how she was going to get back home, and I gave her some money and stuff for her tickets, and she asked for my address to reimburse me, so I did it, not thinking I'd get the money back, but surprisingly I did. The jobs that we went for, I'm not sure how many jobs there were, but the one I was heading for was just down normal secretarial route, and that's not what they offered me. They offered me something quite different at a salary quite, well, substantially more, and I was flattered, surprised, walking on a cloud really, boosted my confidence no end. The other girl, I've forgotten her name, but we kept in touch for a little while afterwards. She didn't get a job, but she went to work in the States. She went to work for a family as a sort of au pair babysitter living in Sarasota. And of course I went to Saudi. And it's just the opportunities that you're afforded. I had a high-powered job the first time in Riyadh, and then when I left, came back to England, did some temporary work, and then I saw an advertisement for various stuff, and it was working for the Saudi Aramco company, and I applied again, wasn't given the job that I thought I would be suited for, and they actually said, you know, we want you to do this, and it was in the government liaison department, and so I went to do that job. And then I was working for two Arab men, one from Saudi and one from Oman. They had a room each of my offices, and I remember during Ramadan, one man kept it religiously, the man from Oman. The man from Saudi used to say, I'm very tired from fasting, I'm going to close my door for a bit and don't allow anybody in or to disturb me or anything. And this was daily, you know, almost daily during Ramadan. And when he opened the door, eventually, you could smell cigarette smoke and whiskey fumes. And in fact, he was the man who offered me a bottle of Jack Daniels. I can get you a bottle of whiskey, I can get you the real stuff, I can get you Jack Daniels. Would you like me to get you a couple of bottles? That would have meant my dismissal. He'd already said to me he'd got rid of some Western people who worked there, and I thought to myself, yeah, I bet this is the way you did it as well. And I said, no, thank you, I don't drink whiskey, and I'm not a keen, you know, I'm not an avid, not avid about alcohol at all, even at home. So I turned down his very kind but barbed offer. Anyway, I wasn't working for those two for long because there became a vacancy upstairs, and I wasn't interviewed for it. I was told that that was my new job. I was going up there. No argument about it, no interview, no, I don't want to do this, you're up there. And so I was working for a Saudi prince and two Canadian fellas. The Gulf War, well, Desert Storm, Desert Shield it was, began. And we were offered a lot of money to stay. And I did stay for a while, helped other people indirectly by dropping their names and saying, you know, this girl, she's on the verge of a nervous breakdown, needs her passport, needs to get out. People were panicking. The Westerners were panicking. People were panicking here, from here, on my behalf. I was speaking to my old boss, and he said, Anne, you need to leave. There is going to be an out-and-out war. You need to leave. But of course I didn't until something came up, and I felt I needed to leave. And I needed to, you know, it was something that was something and nothing. I could have stayed, and I sort of wish I had. I wish I'd left for the right reasons. Anyway, that's just me being contemplative, how, you know, it's not so much things that happen to you, it's what you make of things that happen to you. It's how you play the hand that's dealt to you. Because I believe there are things in this life, there are cards that we're dealt, and those cards, what's written on those cards, are meant to guide us, but also they're tests. They're tests to see how we conduct ourselves, how we behave ourselves. And I've fallen down many times, but I've picked myself up many times also. So maybe that's in my favour. Anyway, I'll catch you all when my family's gone home. I've just made a nice cup of coffee to wake myself up properly. Harriet's mooching around somewhere, and we'll be back later.